Redevelopment Authority.
Dan Lyons, Redevelopment Authority.
And we have with us from the City of Lebanon to show their support for the application, Melissa Jimenez and Janelle, I almost called you Jennifer, sorry, Janelle Mendoff. Okay, we're here today to ask the approval from the commissioners to submit an application for DCED's home funds. And the home funds are the primary provider of assistance for first-time homebuyer activities as well as housing rehab activities. So it's not unusual for us to come here. We've been doing it probably for 20 to 25 years, combined between the city and county. I think they receive $8 million in funding from that program. What's a little unusual is that this application would be submitted by the county and would include the City of Lebanon. Prior to this, the city has submitted their own application for this funding. We spoke with DCED, and they like the idea of one application, one agreement, one monitoring responsibility, and administrator. So they were supportive of the idea of one application. And what they would require of the city would be that there would be a cooperation agreement between the city and the county. Even though the county is taking on that role, we would be asking the city to do some of the marketing of the program, making referrals, that type of thing. So, but truly the program is the county's program. So that's really my introduction to it, and Dan has a few of the details to provide.
Sure. Yeah. We will be applying, we would like to apply for $600,000 in home funds. We're also asking the commissioners to provide $100,000 in Act 137 funding as a match. We estimate that we will be able to assist with those two funding streams if awarded between 30 and 35 first-time home buyers over a 2 or 3 year period. We will be making the first-time homebuyer programs uniform between the county and the city. We will be making some minor changes to the program to make it more attractive and to increase participation. Most notably, we are proposing increasing the amount of rehab assistance that is provided to each homebuyer from $5,000 to $7,000. We are proposing to fund the rehab component, the first $5,000 out of the home grant, which would be forgiven, and then if the repairs exceed $5,000, up to an additional $2,000 out of the Act 137 money, which would be recorded as a deferred loan returned to the program upon resale of the property. As Betsy mentioned, one new component in the application cycle this time was a required phone call with DCED in advance to discuss the application. That's when we had their encouragement to apply together, include the city, have a cooperation agreement, and one thing that they stressed was, one thing that they encouraged us to do is with the rehab funding that will be provided out of the home grant is to make that basically a grant to the homeowner so that it will be forgiven immediately. And then we would instead record any Act 137 assistance that would go to that property for rehab as a deferred loan. We did send you a memo last week. I have it here again today. It contains some of the details. If there's anything you'd like me to elaborate on, I'm happy to do so. But really what we're asking is a resolution to authorize the submission of the application and to authorize Chairman Ames to sign documents related to the application, which there will be a few, as well as the cooperation agreement between the county and the city. And then, of course, the formal Act 137 request. And I neglected to say, in the phone call with DCED, they stressed that it's important in their eyes that there be some local match to the grant funds. And that's why the county does have a history of supporting the home applications with Act 137, but now more than ever, we think that that is a make or break piece of this application.
Yes.
Question. I hear that the city will be doing some marketing and referrals. Do they also have a financial interest in, like we're asked to put up $100,000, do they put up any cash, or are we absorbing their contribution?
Well, part of the $100,000 would come from the sale of city properties.
But that's not the question. In the past, the city had to pay to have the application submitted? Is there still financial?
In the past, the city, when we would file a home application, we would come to the county and also ask for affordable housing funds to be the match. Because a lot of the affordable housing funds do come from city properties also that are sold, that are transferred there in the recorder deeds. So in the past, you always matched our home grants with that.
Okay, so the city never put any money into completing the application?
To complete,
The city didn't have any general fund match to it.
no,
Okay,
not in the past.
that answers my question. Thank you.
Sure.
Do we? Okay.
I'll move to approve based on what Daniel has presented.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second to,
Just make clear, you're acting on a couple of things here. You're acting on the resolution first to apply. That's probably your first motion.
It's not one sweeping motion.
Well, the Act 137 ought to be
separate
separate.
motion for the
yeah.
funding.
Okay.
All right, then I have a motion and a second to make application to the home program in the amount of $600,000. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now we need
Then
a
I think
motion.
I move to use the Act 137 funds, $100,000, to make this happen.
Second the motion.
All right, I have a motion and a second to use $100,000 from the Act 137 fund to, I guess, to sweeten the pot, right? All those in favor of the motion as read, as presented, indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you.